KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, it's going to be breezy and mild, downright warm tomorrow, then a stormy night ahead tomorrow night into early Saturday morning. An elevated risk of severe weather and in the levels that we don't normally see, but maybe once or twice every year. So this is a kind of a serious situation. Big picture here, we have high pressure East Coast, low pressure West Coast, and in between a pretty good pressure gradient. That's why the winds really got going today, and eventually this low will be moving through Mexico and into Texas tomorrow, and then delivering big rains for our friends to the north where flood watches are posted. Also winter weather advisories also getting ready to go. Some winter storm watches right now in effect well to our north. But for us, lots of clouds across the area during the course of the day today. Not much shower activity, a few sprinkles here and there, but most of us staying dry, and that's the way it's going to go for tomorrow. But as we head into tomorrow night, the Storm Prediction Center has much of Acadiana, eastern Texas, into much of Louisiana hatched in for an enhanced risk of severe storms. That's a level 3 out of 5 for storms that could contain damaging winds and isolated strong tornadoes. Those are EF2 strength, better than 111-mile-an-hour winds. And then there's even a moderate risk of severe storms in the northwestern part of the state, the Arklatex, where damaging winds in excess of 80 miles an hour will be possible in some of those stronger storms. That severe weather threat continues across Acadiana. Wee morning hours of Saturday morning, then advances off to the east into the afternoon over toward Mississippi and Alabama. So this is what we have. This is the timeline and the threat indices that we have for Acadiana. We're not concerned about flooding rain, maybe an inch or two for most of us, isolated 3, so that's not going to be an issue. Main threat, damaging winds that are in excess of 70, perhaps 80 miles an hour, and then that enhanced risk of a few isolated tornadoes. This risk is roughly 30%, this risk at about 15%, but that's considered enhanced for tornadic activity. And hail, that's kind of a back burner issue. There might be some marble-sized hail bearing the thunderstorms. Now, as for storm timing, parish by parish, Vernon, Beauregard, Allen, Calcasieu, Cameron, Jeff Davis, from about 1 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning. We have about 5-hour chunks here. You get into Evangeline, Acadia, Vermilion, Lafayette, St. Landry, Upper St. Martin, and Avoyelles Parish. That's going to be 2 to 8 a.m. And then lastly, the eastern portions of Upper St. Martin Parish, Iberia, St. Mary, and Lower St. Martin Parish between 5 and 10 o'clock in the morning. Thereafter, things are going to be done. So here's the latest model. Breezy and mild overnight tonight. Temperatures hold in the 60s. Then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, plain old windy and warm. Temperatures getting well into the 70s. And we're going to talk more about the winds. Winds are gusty tomorrow, but they really pick up as we head into tomorrow night as storms begin to develop back to the west. And we'll have to keep an eye on a few isolated cells later tomorrow evening, just in case we have a quick spin up. But then we'll be watching a squall line developing, and along this squall, damaging winds. Out ahead of it, we could see what we call discrete cells that could rotate and produce tornadoes. And meanwhile, it's going to be quite windy even before the storms arrive. Much of the same scenario as we get to 5, 6 o'clock in the mornings, the worst weather reaching most of the heart of Acadiana, and then that squall line pushing eastward as we get into St. Mary Parish by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. After that, maybe a few lingering showers into the midday period, but I do expect some sunshine for Saturday afternoon before chilly air moves in for Sunday morning. Now the winds, let's talk about this. Today they were gusty. Tomorrow they're going to be gusty, similar to today, but watch what happens into tomorrow evening. Before the storms ever arrive, you see the winds gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour, in some spots even a little bit higher than that, and these are the wind gusts through 2 a.m., so batten down the hatches, the lawn furniture, the trash pails, the hanging plants, that sort of thing. It's going to be windy and things are going to get tipped over whether we see the storms or not. And then when the storms come in, you're going to see gusts to 50, maybe 60, isolated gusts, maybe 70 or 80. So that's why this is going to be a rough and tumble weather system. And then behind it, the winds die down. They'll be breezy as cooler air filters in. So tomorrow, another not bad day. Slight chance of a passing shower. Temperatures reaching the upper 70s. Rain chance low. Winds begin to increase toward toward tomorrow evening. And then as we head into the forecast, rain chances up to 100% late tomorrow night, very early Saturday. That rain chance mainly up until about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Don't cancel your Saturday afternoon plans. Sunday looks good, but cooler. And as we go into next week, an unsettled pattern with on and off rain chances. Initially mild temperatures. Temperature forecast very tricky. Long range models at odds. I'm betting on above normal temperatures to continue at least through the next couple of weeks. Maybe late January we might see colder air, but all in all, this winter is shaping up to be a very mild one. Maybe a couple of cold outbreaks here and there, but overall, I think temperatures most certainly are going to average above normal.
And that's not good for severe weather for us.
No, and that's why we're dealing with severe weather. We had an event in December. We're having one in January, and it may continue through February, March, and maybe April too.
Okay, thanks, Rob.